Hi guys, it's Taylor and welcome back to my channel. Today I am very excited to do my assumptions video. So I asked a bunch of you on Twitter to send in your assumptions about me, and I'm basically just gonna read them out loud, and that's the video. So I had two threads on Twitter going around about this, so I'm just gonna start with one of them. So Maria on Twitter, whose handle is @SeriousReading, serious like Sirius Black, that's a lot of fun. You're such a sweetheart. I wish we were in real life friends, or IRL friends. One, aw, that's so sweet. Thank you so much. I wish I was friends with you online too. Honestly, one of the saddest things about BookTube is that I can't be with you guys in person, like, every day. In terms of the you're such a sweetheart, like, I don't want to speak for other people, but, I mean, I am a Hufflepuff, so that has to count for something. Thank you so much for sending that in, Maria. That really made my day. Oh, next up we've got Jessie from Jessie's Shelf, and her assumption about me is that I'm she writes, "You're a Starbucks jumpy? A Starbucks junkie." The answer to that is yes and no. I spend every morning in Starbucks because I get to work like about an hour earlier than I should be, because I don't have a car, so my aunt takes me there. So I basically sit in Starbucks for about 40 minutes and I read before I walk over to work. So yeah, I really only like 3 drinks from Starbucks. Their black tea lemonade, and their hot chocolate. But I don't drink coffee, so I'll drink black tea lemonades for days on end, but, you know, I don't know if I would call myself a Starbucks junkie. That was a hard assumption. I don't know what to reply to that. But thank you for sending that in, Jessie. That's annoying. I had to stop recording for a second, so then I was supposed to press record again, and then I filmed the other half of my video, except I didn't film it. I never pressed record, so this is the second time. So on my other Twitter thread, Cara from the Wild Book Garden says, "Ooh, okay, here we go. You like fashion but find it hard to describe your style to other people." That's correct. I didn't used to like fashion, actually. This is a pretty recent thing for me. So I used to be pretty blah, jeans, t-shirt, which there's nothing wrong with that, but I didn't really put any effort into how I dressed. Jeans, t-shirt, maybe a nice pair of shoes. And then at the last place I interned, my desk mate, Russia, if she doesn't watch my videos, but I felt like I should shout her out. My desk mate, Russia, had a fantastic sense of style, and it felt really weird when you're sitting next to someone who looks so put together and you just look like, you know, you put on the first thing you saw in the morning. And so I wanted to kind of step it up, so I started, like, experimenting with types of clothing, you know, what worked best for my body, what did I feel good in, and eventually I kind of came to this sort of style of mine. I still love jeans and t-shirts, I really do. In fact, most of the time I choose to wear jeans and t-shirts, but now I've gotten into like little kitten heels and skirts and tights and nice shirts. Like right now I'm wearing a shirt and a skirt that I got from Forever 21 and white sneakers, which I don't, can I get my leg up? Nope, can't get my leg up high enough so you could see them. I tried. So yeah, you're right about that one, Cara. Good one. Let's see. Lipstick is your favorite makeup step? You got me again. It's actually the only makeup step I like. I don't like putting on makeup, and if you notice from my videos, I don't put a lot of it on. Like right now, I just have cover up on and mascara and lip stuff. But most of the time, like most days, I just put on lipstick or lip matte, which is what I prefer to wear, and I just go on my merry way. I do like it. So on days when I don't put on makeup, which are most days, I just put a little bit of lipstick on, and I feel like I at least put in some effort. So you're right about that, Cara. And the last one Cara sent me was, "You don't often get invested in book romances, but when you do, you go hard." And you got me again. Wow, 3 for 3. Yes, you're right about that one. It's very hard for me to sort of get into book romances rather than with movies and TV shows, and I think part of that is because you don't get the sort of visual effect of it. Like, I have to imagine it, and sometimes I don't always imagine you know, the chemistry or the little looks or the little hand touches, you know, all that good stuff that I like. So it is hard for me to get invested in it, but once I get like a little nugget of maybe a trope I like, or, you know, a nice little romantic look, I am all in. So you're right about that, Cara. Good one. Next up, Courtney from Court the Reader, I guess, assumes about me. You like to read in absolute silence. That's correct. I don't like a lot of distractions. I don't know. I like to sort of close myself off in my room and just go to town with that book. When I have the TV on, or if there are people talking, I tend to get invested in that, or I have a hard time concentrating on what I'm reading. So you're right about that. You are allergic to something, but I don't know what. Yes, you got me again. Yes, I am allergic to a couple of things. So seasonal allergies, you know, dust, pollen, stuff like that. So I have medicine for that. But I'm also allergic to citrus, mostly oranges, pineapples. I'm also allergic to pistachios. The two big allergies I have are tomatoes, which means I can't eat pizza, spaghetti, ketchup. So I'm allergic to that. I swell up. But then the big one, the big boy of my allergies is latex. That's one where I could go into anaphylactic shock, or, you know, I could die. I've only ever really had one really big reaction due to latex, and in that one both my nose swelled up and my throat swelled up, so I couldn't breathe. So I prefer if that never happened again. So I do tend to avoid any sort of latex or rubber products, which is hard, but once you kind of get the gist of it, it's not as hard as one would think it is. So you're right about that. Your last assumption is you would travel all the time if you could. Yes, I could, or would. I love traveling. I've always wanted to travel. My first sort of foray into traveling was when I went from Los Angeles to San Francisco on a college tour in high school. I'd been to Vegas before, but I feel like Los Angeles to San Francisco is a lot further. And then on another college tour in high school, I went to the East Coast where I fell in love. I went to college all the way across the country because I wanted to explore something new. I studied abroad and I really got the travel bug. I think I would travel all the time, but I'd also like to have a home base so I could just go back and forth. But if I could spend, you know, even a year just traveling to as many countries as I could, I'd love it. That would be like heaven for me. Thank you so much, Courtney, for sending that in. You're also 3 for 3. Good job. So the last one I have is from Grace over at Graceful Books, and her assumption is, or she writes, oh gosh, I don't know how to word this, but how about you don't mind going to theaters alone and in fact prefer it? So the way you spell theaters, I think you can go 2 ways. So like musical theaters for like plays and musicals, and also movie theaters. So I do absolutely love going to, well, no, not absolutely love. I do like going to movie theaters by myself sometimes. I always say I'm my own best company because I love hanging out with my friends and my family, but only I know how to keep myself entertained for hours on end, and only I know when, you know, what I'm doing is boring and so on. I don't know. I feel like I know myself the best, and that's why I would make my own best company friend thing. Yeah, so there's that. And same with theaters to go see musicals. When I was in London, a lot of my friends didn't want to pay money for certain musicals, or they didn't like musicals, so I didn't want to wait for them to come around to realizing how great musicals are. So I just went ahead and treated myself to a couple of musicals, and it was great. And I did the same with Vertigo. They were having a showing of the film in Boston, and I went to go see it by myself because, you know, no one really wanted to go. And so my thinking was, why should I hold myself back and not go? I don't know if I would say I prefer it. I think it's equal to going with other people. There is something you miss out on when you go to see a movie or a play or something and you want to talk to someone about it. You know, I love dissecting films. And sometimes you want to say, like, what did you think of this? What did you think of that? And when you watch a movie by yourself, you don't really get that. But I would say you're pretty right about that. I do like going to theaters by myself. So yeah, you did well on that, Grace. And those were all of the assumptions you guys had about me. You all did actually really well. Am I that much of an open book to you guys? So, thank you so much, guys, for sending in your assumptions about me. I had a lot of fun doing this. If you have more assumptions about me or any comments about the assumptions made about me, please feel free to leave them down in the comments below. You can also follow my social media, which will be linked in the description box down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And of course, I will see you all in my next video. Bye, guys.